Hello, you've caught me thinking about tribalism. I don't know why.
I mean, what a completely random thing on which to muse at the moment. The picking of one side or the other, the vehement dismissal or dislike of those who've picked the thing you didn't pick, and the seemingly eternal bad-tempered bickering that follows.
Personally, I think this is better.
What do you mean? As opposed to that?
This is better.
This doesn't even make sense.
I agree with this.
I don't know why we're having this argument. You know that it's up
This
against
is-
that. It's not even an argument to me, it's more of a
Have
conversation.
you even seen this?
Yeah, no
Yeah, you
one
do
votes.
that in your that corner, yeah.
This is the best.
But you know, sometimes once you've made a choice, there's no going back. And that's the terrifying thing, especially when you bump into these kinds of choices in video games. A moral T-junction. Left or right, this or that, red or blue.
Here are 7 times we just had no idea what side to pick.
We'll start as we mean to go on, with an impossible 50-50 choice that has pros and cons on each side. Who do you join in Skyrim, the Stormcloaks or the Imperials? At first glance, it seems a really simple choice. The Stormcloaks are obviously the good guys, right? Heroic rebels, defending their homeland from cultural and religious oppression, bravely standing up for the rights and freedoms of the people of Skyrim, united under the charismatic leadership of Ulfric Stormcloak, the rightful king.
And besides, the Empire's the Empire. Empires are evil, that's just the rules.
But then, as you're wandering around the world, maybe you stumble upon a noble Imperial who wants to see Skyrim remain united with the Empire. Maybe you run into an Argonian or a Dark Elf made to feel unwelcome in Skyrim by Nords who think they should go back to their own lands.
Maybe you come across a Stormcloak who's a massive jerk, or an Imperial you kind of actually like.
Then all of a sudden you've got a big decision to make. Team Stormcloak or Team Imperial? Is the Empire evil? Or just trying to peacefully unite all of the nations? Are the Stormcloaks brave, noble rebels? Or shallow-minded lizard racists?
I don't know.
In the end, I went Imperial mainly because I liked Solitude more than I did Windhelm. Also, I may have accidentally on purpose attacked a Stormcloak in their sleep because I couldn't resist, and thereafter instantly got attacked by every Stormcloak I came across. End of entry. Next up, Mass Effect 2, a game where you'll make tons of choices, many of which have ramifications further on in the story. I tried my absolute best to be a good shepherd. You know, doing everyone's loyalty mission, being polite, finding non-violent solutions where possible.
I know this doesn't sound at all like me, but you must remember, this is over 8 years ago now.
So yeah, I was doing well, had recruited an excellent crew, made an effort to always speak to them, make sure they were happy, and then I hit a little snag. Just after a loyalty mission, Jack and Miranda have a disagreement.
Both of them, before this point, had been completely loyal. You know, I'd done both of their missions, everything was going great.
But as the confrontation escalates, it quickly becomes clear you've got a choice to make. And if, like me, you didn't have enough Paragon or Renegade points to calm the situation down, whoever you don't side with immediately becomes disloyal and then, spoilers, dies during the suicide mission. So what do you do? Team Jack or Team Miranda?
It's a horrible choice because I sort of agreed with Jack, but at the same time, by this point I'd put loads of effort into romancing Miranda and there was no way I was missing out on the Paramore trophy, so
it looks like I'm Team Miranda. I'm sorry, Jack. I really am. I guess you're dead now. Entry 3, the factions in Fallout 4. The choice here isn't so much who do you join, technically you can join all of them, more who do you condemn to death, because the 3 factions in Fallout 4, the Institute, the Railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel, do not like each other.
Caught in the middle of this triangle of hate are the Synths, a race of androids over whom hangs an ethical dilemma. Should the Synths be considered human and therefore have the same rights.
The Institute makes synths. They're pro-synth, but in a cold corporate they make us money kind of way. The Institute hates the Railroad because they keep trying to liberate all the synths, and they hate the Brotherhood of Steel because they keep trying to eliminate all the synths. The Railroad, a pro-synth faction, wants the synths liberated and so steals them from the Institute, and the Brotherhood of Steel just hates everyone and wants all the synths destroyed.
As the story progresses, you'll have to make a choice. Depending on which faction you pick, one or possibly even two of the others are going pretty much the same way as everything else in the world of Fallout 4.
I.e. the way of irradiated death. So who do you choose? I mean, not the Institute, they're greedy and evil, and the Railroad seems an obvious choice, but then the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood of Steel.
Wants to wipe out the entire synth race, but on the other hand has really cool armor.
Yeah, let's go with the Brotherhood of Steel. Sorry, literally everyone else in the world. Entry 4, Life is Strange. Now brace yourselves because the spoilers are coming. Big endgame spoilers for Life is Strange. If you haven't played it yet, then don't watch this bit. Okay, here we go. So, right at the end of Life is Strange, you're faced with a seemingly impossible choice. Using Max's time rewind ability, you've saved Chloe from being fatally shot by Nathan, but in doing so have unleashed a violent tornado that will pretty much wipe out the entire town of Arcadia Bay.
So, do you save the town but sacrifice Chloe? Or do you save Chloe's life and therefore doom the entire population of Arcadia Bay to a horrifying death?
On the face of it, this should be a simple choice. Come at it from a cold, logical, utilitarian standpoint. And the obvious thing to do is save the town. Many lives surely outweigh the importance of just one life. But when you've spent an entire game getting to know that one life, especially when it's a game as well written as Life is Strange, all of a sudden there's a white-hot spanner of raw, personal emotion jamming those decision-making cogs.
Let's be honest here, which of us would have the moral fortitude to sacrifice someone we loved to save a bunch of people we'd never met?
You know, I don't want to go all Dumbledore on you here, but this is less a choice between what is right and what is wrong, and more a choice between what is right and what is easy. It would be easy to save Chloe and forget about Arcadia Bay, but deep down, you know it's probably not right. Let us know in the comments what you picked. Next up, a straightforward 50-50 choice in Until Dawn. Story spoilers for Until Dawn, naturally. So this is early on in the game. You're being served bait and switch jump scares and all the characters are still in that kind of pre-poo hitting the fan is it, isn't it horror phase where they start to suspect something might be up, but instead of just going home, they maybe, check out the basement with a dim torch or decide to split up and look around.
Oh, it drives me mad. Just stay together and then go home.
Anyway, this is the first real OMG moment in Until Dawn, the bit where you know you're playing for keeps. The masked psycho who's stalking the group of friends has captured Ashley and Josh, tied them up, and then asked Chris, the character you're controlling at this point, to choose who lives and who dies.
It's a really elaborate setup with a rotating saw on an old piece of train track, and you have to pull the lever to determine where it goes.
It's very dramatic and absolutely heart-wrenching when the thing kicks into gear and you're hit by the desperate screams of both Josh and Ashley as they plead for their lives. You may have your own personal favourite between Ashley and Josh. Personally, I thought Josh was a bit of a douche. But watching this through the eyes of Chris adds a layer of emotional turmoil that makes the choice really tough. I mean, there's no good way to come out of this.
Later on in the game, it transpires all was not as it seemed here, but that doesn't impact how you feel during the moment itself.
Whichever way you'll go, you're forced to watch the gruesome consequences of your choice play out right in front of you. And it's not pretty. Number 6, save Harvey Dent or save Catwoman in Batman the Telltale series. Now, spoilers, they're both fine. I mean, come on, it's Selena, Catwoman, Kyle and Harvey Two-Face Dent. You're not going to kill them off, are you? But for one searing moment of chest-thumping uncertainty, it seems like Telltale might. and you as Batman have to decide who you're going to save.
It reminds me of that bit in The Dark Knight where Joker forces Batman to decide between Harvey Dent and Rachel.
Cool, what is it with Harvey Dent and the whole 50-50 chance thing? Anyway, if you choose to save Harvey, then Catwoman is left severely injured after being attacked by the children of Arkham. Conversely, if you save Selina, then you leave poor Harvey at the mercy of the Penguin, who naturally takes the opportunity to ruin Harvey's face, suggesting that you, Batman, are responsible for Harvey's descent into madness and eventual rebirth as Two-Face. What a huge choice that is. Final entry, and it had to be this, didn't it? You've seen the footage of The Witcher 3 on the screen, you know what's coming. Who do you choose as Geralt's romantic partner? Yennefer, with her tender heart buried under that near-impenetrable diamond-hard exterior? Or Triss, the sorceress who scorched through Geralt's armour of cold indifference and stole his heart? It's a huge decision, and I know lots of people feel very strongly, one way or the other.
Personally, I'm Team Yennefer because, you know, that's canon. You know, there's an unbreakable bond between those two, and if you choose to betray Yennefer, then that's on your conscience, and also how dare you.
But then I have heard how Triss is emotionally there for Geralt when Yennefer isn't, how she cares for him and values his friendship while also loving him deeply, and how when Geralt lost his memory and didn't know who he was, when some might argue he was his true self, he fell in love with Triss. Those are his true feelings, not bound by the shackles of loyalty or the memory of his own past. I mean, I've heard these things and I'm still 100% Team Yennefer, but if you disagree, fair enough. Let's chat about it in the comments where I can see who you are and ban you instantly.
I'm joking.
So there you go, 7 times we just had no idea what side to pick, apart from the last one, where it's definitely Yennefer. Let us know how you tackled these choices in the comments, give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and click that notification bell so you're always up to date with the latest Friday feature. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.
For the players.